What's up guys, Pingy here. Now recently in one of my videos I was requested to make an hourglass walkthrough, so I thought I'd give some tips and tricks on how I got the skeleton curse. Now I do want to say a quick disclaimer that I am by no means a god at PvP, but I do hope this video will help you on your journey to the skeleton or ghost curse. These tips are a mix of solo and duo, so I'll let you guys choose whichever ones you want to use. They all helped me in my journey, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the first tip is always buy supplies. Now I don't see a lot of newer people to PvP buying supplies, which it ends up being very detrimental to them, and it's always good, especially even if you don't have a captain ship, just buy them from the Merchant Alliance, and if you do have a captain ship, which most people do, get captain supplies. They always give you that extra edge in battle, especially food when you're going for a board and you need to stay on there for long times. Food is key. Now, the second tip I have is to organize your supplies. This is another thing that I don't see a lot of newer people to Sea of Thieves and to PvP doing. I usually put my food and my cannons all in my top barrel, which just helps me easily get to them in a fight. I'd also recommend having a supply crate right by your cannons so you don't have to walk all the way over to your cannon barrel. Now my third tip, and this is a big one, is don't use big chunky cannons. Now I know they might look good, and it's totally fine to use them on high seas, but the main problem is that they clog up your vision. Now I'd recommend using sailor cannons if you look at any other PvP YouTubers, such as Captain Roach. They usually have the golden sailor or sailor cannons on, so I definitely recommend using those. I use those all the time. If you do want some cannons with some more color though, use the golden sailor or sea dog cannons. Now the next one is don't use a bright or flashy curse such as Coral Curse or the Ashen Curse. I see so many people using them, especially if you're fighting in nighttime. They're just horrible for you. People can see boarding a mile away, and they really just give you no advantage, and you kind of just look stupid wearing them. And then you have keep fighting, especially during community weekends. Now this is how I got my curse. I worked for around 3 to 4 community weekends playing to get my curse, just because you get that double XP bonus. That's really nice, and plus there's just so many people playing, so there's just more variation in who you fight. And then also have proper wheel management. That's another one. Don't overturn, especially if you're a solo. Overturning can usually take you out of a broadside, it can take you out of your death spiral. You really don't want to overturn, so just do minor increments when you're turning. Also, turn off music when you're doing PvP. Honestly, I love the music in this game, but it ends up becoming a large distraction, and you end up missing boards because people board you, you can't hear them. It's just not good. And then always repair. See, especially if you're a solo, you should always repair right before you go over. It just screws you over in the long term, especially if you just can't kill the dude on the enemy ship. It's honestly just worth repairing, especially if someone gets on your ship and you're trying to bail, but you just end up sinking. So I definitely repair a lot. And then use weapons you're comfortable using. I wouldn't recommend, unless you're just somewhat a god at this game, I wouldn't recommend double gunning until you've at least gotten the curse, or you're experienced enough to know how to double gun, like you've played this game for multiple years now, like myself. So I'd recommend using the sword, maybe the blunderbuss. The rest of the weapons honestly hold you back in PvP, so I wouldn't recommend using them. Learn audio cues too. That's especially important. Hearing merms pop up, hearing people board, what the different sounds are when cannonballs hit different parts of your ship, such as the anchor, the mast, the wheel, or just the ship itself. Then, if you're a duo, always have set jobs. Do not switch those jobs. Like my duo and I, we stick to our jobs. I'm cannons, he's helm, and it really just helps you guys get fights done that much quicker because you're not possibly switching between roles. The cannon's not going down bilging or repairing, so I would recommend having set jobs. Keep good, calm communication. For me, at least in the beginning of my PvP journey, my duo and I, we did not have good communication, and getting stressed out just ends up having you make mistakes, and once you make those mistakes, you usually lose. So usually just try and stay calm as possible, and you'll most likely win. Also, always have a designated boarder. That's extremely useful to have. I'm usually the designated boarder when I'm playing with my duo. It just really helps because if you can just board and you're good at boarding, you're good at hand-to-hand in this game, which honestly not a lot of people are anymore, but if you are, I'd recommend you become the designated boarder with your duo. And being the boarder can usually end up being the difference between winning or losing in Hourglass. And then bucket and repair management. So this is more for like helms in a duo situation. Don't always repair first, bail first, and then always go for the holes closest to you. Don't go for the furthest away holes, even if they're the largest holes. Patching the closest ones is the best. That way you can keep a death spiral if someone's overboarding. And I think honestly the last one is, don't be toxic, always say GG. It's just nice to do, especially because I've ran into a lot of toxic people and you really don't want to be them, Yeah. If you guys did enjoy the video though, please feel free to drop a like and a sub down below. It really helps. I'm trying to currently race my friend to 100 subscribers, so definitely hit that if you did enjoy the video and if you do want to see more content from me. And I'll see you guys in the next one.